For Penrith.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Planning and Public Spaces. Can the Minister please update the House on how the people of Western Sydney have enjoyed Penrith Beach this summer?
Oh, yeah.
Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. I thank the member for Penrith for a question and her tireless advocacy on behalf of Penrith residents and Western Sydney residents who are benefiting from being able to get to Penrith Beach. And of course, we can't talk about the benefits of Penrith Beach, we can't talk about advocacy for Western Sydney without, of course, mentioning the work and advocacy of the Minister, Deputy Premier, Minister for Education, and the Minister for Western Sydney, who's been right in there fighting to make sure that Penrith residents and surrounding Western Sydney residents have access to the beach. Mr. Speaker, Billy Joel had that legendary song and it said, some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighbourhood, hop on a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. Well, now they can add that iconic destination of Penrith Beach to that list of destinations, Mr. Speaker. 116,000 visitors this year. They know how good it is, Mr. Speaker. So famous, Mr. Speaker, as Penrith Beach become. They don't like it over there. They're so famous as Penrith Beach just become...
Member for Tamworth. All members in the bleachers will come to order.
It's been featured recently in the New York Times, Mr. Speaker. The Times reflected describing the beach as, quote, a welcome haven for those who live an hour or more inland from the coast and pay hefty tolls to get there, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Leader of the House on a point of order.
Can we stop the clock?
We'll stop the clock.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the House is far too disorderly. I can't hear the Minister's answer. It's really time for the House to come to order, and I ask you to call the House to order.
Of course I'm going to uphold the point of order, and all members on both sides of the House will come to order, and it really was a little bit out of control. The Minister can make some comments with a little bit of levity without the decorum of the House falling as it did. And the Minister will be able to answer the question appropriately in silence.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mr. Speaker. I mean, even the New York Times journalists knew about the toll impact that the members opposite left on the people of Western Sydney, Mr. Speaker. And so not only has the Minns government put in place a toll cap, $561 million investment in making sure that coals are capped at $60 a week. We're also investing in recreational infrastructure in Western Sydney. Recreational infrastructure that's become internationally famous. And given the interest about recreational infrastructure in Moore Park from members opposite earlier, recreational infrastructure that was in the side of an old quarry, Mr. Speaker. Oh. Right? Recreational...
Is that one
they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. The Premier's right, Mr. Speaker. Premier's right. They couldn't do it, but we've been able to, Mr. Speaker.
Your side at the moment.
Mr. Speaker, the New York Times summed it up well. They said, like many cities, the urban fringes of Sydney's urban sprawl are made up of working-class families, newly arrived immigrants, and those pushed out further and further from downtown by rising house prices. This is an astute observation because it highlights another failing of the former government, Mr. Speaker, that has meant that we've had to introduce some of the most significant planning reforms seen in this state's history to address affordability and availability of housing in Sydney and across the state. And of course...
Yes, member for Penrith.
Request an extension to hear more from the
Additional
Minister.
2 minutes is granted.
And of course, Mr. Speaker, those homes and those residents need the infrastructure to support it. Mr. Speaker, the Penrith Beach, the place that has been left padlocked for 12 long years, the one where members opposite left Western Sydney residents, a community who experienced some of the hottest temperatures in the world, stranded, Mr. Speaker. And our reasoning was not just the heat, but also the desperate need of many people in the West for relief. And as one of those locals interviewed in the New York Times outlined, due to her duties as a full-time carer, she couldn't travel over an hour to get to one of Sydney's beaches in the east. She said she popped down to Penrith Beach in the waning days of summer thinking she'd take a quick 20-minute dip but ended up swimming for 2 hours. Describing the Blue Mountains behind it, one of our most visited sites, as the Premier mentioned yesterday, as, quote, majestically stretching beyond an expansive azure sky reflected the serene waters. Doesn't sound too bad, does it, Mr. Speaker? This is the kind of support that working people are committed to. We're committed to providing to working people. That's why we put $2.5 million in the budget last year to reopen Penrith Beach. And this season has had more to offer. We've had free activities like the Sandy Cinema and Wildlife Wednesdays and Learn to Swim. But don't take a word on how good Penrith Beach is from here already, Mr. Speaker. Take the word of Aladi Dahar, originally from Darfur, who said to the Times that he went there as after his neighbour had been raving about it for 4 weeks. But most importantly, this is about equality, Mr. Speaker. It's about making sure that people, wherever they live and whatever they do, have equal access to great facilities and infrastructure. It's something forgotten about by members' office at 12 years, and it's something this side has dedicated themselves to fixing over the last 2 years. Mr. Speaker, or as Billy Joel sang in New York State of Mind, it was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the river and bees. We're in touch, they remain out of touch, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, members.